Hey folks, it's Liz coming to you from my office in downtown Silver Spring. So I've had a lot of people tell me recently, oh my gosh, great market, you must be loving it, such a hot market. And I kind of cringe because we're really in crisis mode right now. And so I thought I would do a quick video to explain what is going on out there and my concerns about will it ever end, right? So months supply of inventory, or MSI, is a term that you may have heard before. It is, if you have a 1 month supply of inventory, that is the length of time that it would take under current market situations, a current pace of the market, for us to run out of inventory, okay? So the typical normal where supply and demand are balanced, the market MSI is about 6 months. We never see 6 months in Montgomery County. So the last time we got even close to 4 months was in 2009 after the crash, and we were at 3.9 months. Prince George's County has traditionally been much healthier. In 2009, they had an average month supply of inventory of just over 6 months. Both the supply of inventory in both Montgomery County and Prince George's County has ranged in the last year of right around 1 month. And right now they're swinging between 1 month and 1.4 months, which is really anemic. I mean, we are crisis mode right now. So there is a danger of looking at or reading about the national housing market and applying it to our local area. We hear a lot about housing starts. Housing starts are literally just the number of houses, foundations, that get started in a particular month. So we're seeing a lot of housing starts in the South and in the West. Very few in the Northeast, not so many in the Mid-Atlantic area. So housing starts is what can relatively quickly slow or normalize a market. We don't have any land to speak of here, and so the great majority of housing that gets built, particularly in the close-in urban areas, is infill, which means maybe there's a one house that gets taken down and it's a double lot, and so you get 2 houses. More likely it's one house that comes down and one house that goes up. So that doesn't really increase the inventory in any measurable manner, which is why, with the demand the way it is now, and has been for years, this is not a pandemic issue, the market is not going to change anytime soon. So what does this all mean? If you are pondering selling, when is a good time? And any time is a good time. I mean, potentially for the next few years. I don't know what will stop this. Economists are now saying we're not going to have a decent supply for years, and again, that's nationally. And we have a lot of areas throughout the country that are normalized by housing starts, creating lots of new housing. We're not creating new housing, or we're creating very, very, very little new housing, so that's not going to help us. Increasing interest rates just pushes more buyers out of the market. And that doesn't really help us. If you're a buyer and you can afford to buy, go ahead and buy. And you're going to be in your house for at least 3 years, preferably 5 years. Because, again, I don't know what's going to stop this market. There are some people that say, oh, well, the market's going to crash. Well, what is going to make it crash is always my question. What's going to stop it? We don't have problematic lending practices like we did in the run up to the crash of 2008. What we have is a very high demand for houses and a very low supply. And that's not going to change anytime soon, unfortunately.